Our education system has gone badly wrong, and I've been in and out of the British education system um, for years, and I've looked at and I've taught teachers how to teach in other countries, um, and in countries where the education system is really struggling. And I thought for a long time that what I was doing was bringing the best practice from Britain to countries like Russia. And when I returned and took jobs in schools in the UK, I was horrified, not by the standard of education or not by what students were learning. I think, on the whole, students now are brighter than they were 20 years ago, but and they're being taught some interesting things. But the level of bureaucracy has got to such a point that it is hampering education in all manner. Um, the the staff room nastiness has got to a point where I simply will not. I won't go back into a school on a full time basis ever again. I just don't have the energy to deal with that sort of nonsense. And so I teach privately. I go around schools and do talks and universities and so on. I'm very happy to do that, really. But I am also very much aware that our education system is failing, and is failing almost as speedily as our national health system. And it's not for want of investment, though I think more investment helps. So, for example, the investment by James Dyson to his to a state primary school in Malmesbury in Wiltshire, £6 million there, £35 million for his old school Gresham, which has, I think, since the building of the STEAM Centre for Science, Technology, Arts, and Maths, since that was built, since the billionaire's donation for that building, engineering as well, uh, that 100,000, no, 1,000 local state school children in the last year have attended engineering workshops. Now, I hope that figure would increase, because uh, the best option for our education today is to merge the best in the state system and the best in the private system, and to learn from each. What unfortunately we're getting is the obsession of Ofsted, which is encouraging this level of bureaucracy, stifling bureaucracy that smothers almost all creativity and almost all um, functioning. And I don't think Ofsted has anything to show for what it's done, except the sort of congratulatory packing that it's been to this school, it's been to that school, and it's caused this amount of stress and that amount of stress there for the people who are teaching there. I think we should have in place a form of monitoring of education that is ongoing, and that I would have thought technology should be able to provide. The days of an Ofsted roving inspection, I think, should be over. It's counterproductive. At the same time, I think a lot of the bureaucracy which is in place to make sure that people get through their Ofsted inspections needs to go. I think there's a lot to be said for the improvement of safeguarding in schools, but there's a lot equally to be removed in terms of the way we've structured the schools as a sort of conveyor belt to achieve exam results, many of which are not terribly important. And we need perhaps a greater mixture of continual assessment and better focused exams, which are less about box ticking. So in fact, we want to move away from exams monitored by AI and move towards exams which are monitored by real people, particularly when you come to the art subjects, which I don't think can be monitored by AI, and mathematics, which I think we're really interested in the way somebody gets to a result rather than what the result is. So again, it's not something that can be monitored effectively by AI. It's something that needs the skill of an experienced teacher to observe and to encourage. I think I think we need to start trusting our teachers in schools, and I think we need to move increasingly towards an exam-based system that is monitored primarily in schools and not in these centralized organizations like AQA and so on. I think our obsession with centralized exams is in the end wrong. And I also think the move that Oxford and Cambridge have made, and other senior universities, back to exams, entrance exams, that will act as a guide to interviews, which in turn act as a guide to admissions. That is something that was inevitable. This one shoe fits all approach to examinations is wrong and is demonstrably designed to fail, particularly the high achievers, but also it doesn't catch the low achievers. And there's a large group of nodders in the middle of the class who sort of they do what is necessary to get through. But actually, what we want to do is to encourage excellence in all children, in all learners, at all levels. Excellence and an ambition for excellence, whether they achieve it or not. And an excellent goal that has been failed is also a major achievement. But it's not going to be picked up by these universal exams. We need a change in the way we do education, and we need to stop this cultural adversity, and we need to stop using education as a form of social engineering. Instead, we need to commit ourselves to ensuring that all children achieve the best of their potential. And the people best placed to do that are the local staff in a local school, who are gifted with responsibility. If we don't trust our teachers to do the right thing and the right job, and to deal honestly with children's results, then frankly, they shouldn't be in the classroom, should they? If we can't trust them. And that is the understanding on which we have these national exams, because we don't trust the teachers to do that monitoring, that marking, and that filing. And yet they're doing all that monitoring, all that marking, all that filing in preparation for these national tests, which are simply debilitating. So much better to reprogram our entire education system to focus on trusting the schools, trusting the colleges, trusting the universities.